We all know the absolute state of budget indie games on the PlayStation Store right now. It is a total minefield of lazy asset flips and uninspired AI slop. So when a team over at Sometimes You hit me up with a free review copy of Tales of Darklands, I'm not gonna lie with you, my immediate reaction was to brace myself for a rough time. But you guys know how I roll on this channel, a free key never buys a fake review. Fully expected to boot this up, play for like 10 minutes or so, and complete checkout because it looked like just another generic low poly cash grab, or like just I don't know what to say. But after actually sitting down, picking up the controller and putting some time into the game that you're watching right now, as you can see, that's literally my first freaking time playing this game. I was genuinely surprised. This isn't a lazy machine generated cash grab or a generic AI slop RPG. This is a game that was actually made with a real thought, and it completely caught me off guard by how surprisingly decent it turned out to be. Now, look, it is far from a perfect game. The story is generic, the combat gets incredibly repetitive, and the enemy AI is flat out bad. We're going to get into all of that, but in a gaming landscape where thousands of titles try way too hard to be unique and end up being bloated messes, this one does something refreshing in my opinion. So now let's break down exactly what's going on here. Well, let's get the standard background stuff out the way first, starting with the narrative. To put it bluntly, the story ain't that good. It's about as generic as a fantasy RPG can possibly get. You play as a nameless mercenary who gets hired by a small, isolated village to protect them from certain aggressive goblin raids. And of course, because it's a video game, that simply security gig immediately spirals into something way bigger. Before you know it, you're trapped in an ancient dark tale tasked with stopping an encroaching evil from consuming the entire land. There's no crazy plot twists here, no deep emotional character arcs. It is standard fantasy comfort food, almost to a fault. Presentation wise, it's a similar story. The visuals and the music are just okay. The low quality art style does exactly what it needs to do. It gives the world a clean, uniform look, and some of the fighting choices in the Dark Dungeon in the 19th actually look pretty nice. The soundtrack fits nicely into the background, but none of these tracks are going to end up on your personal playlist. Nothing about the graphics or audio is going to blow your mind or push your PS5 hardware to its limits. It is incredibly simple, straightforward, and it doesn't pretend to be anything else. Now, let's talk about where the budget nature of this game really starts to show its rough edges, because the core gameplay is where things get a bit messy. First up, the fighting is incredibly repetitive. You got your basic melee attacks, a dodge roll, some ranged options with bow, and a few magical abilities. Early on, it feels fine, but it doesn't take long before the combat loop starts to feel identical in every single encounter. You run up, swing short, roll away, and repeat. There isn't a massive variety of combos to master. You're essentially doing the exact same sequence of inputs from the first hour of the game all the way to the end. Compounding that repetitiveness is the fact that enemy AI is flat out bad. Goblins, wolves, and monsters in the game don't use any real tactics. They don't try to flank you, protect your archers, or bait out your attacks. They have one setting, and that setting is just to mindlessly rush directly at your face in a straight line. Although there are some circumstances where they move here and there, but It's unpredictable, but it's horrible. Because the AI is so predictable, it makes the game incredibly easy to cheese. Once you find a rhythm or a specific spell that works, or a good sword, you can pretty much clear entire rooms of enemies without ever having to switch up your strategy. If you came into this game looking for a deep, high skill challenge where you have to perfectly parry instead of frame data, you're definitely going to walk away disappointed. And honestly, based on the freaking game, visuals, and everything, I don't know why you would expect that. But here's where the script flips. Despite the weak story, the okay graphics, and the basic combat, I still find myself hooked on the loop. And that's because the developers actually put real thought into the RPG progression system. This is how you know it's a real project, not some soulless AI generated game. You take the gear management, for example. You aren't just picking a random loot that gives you boring +1 to a stat. You're actively getting raw resources out in the wilderness, bringing them back to the village blacksmith, and physically crafting your armor and weapons. On top of that, there's a runic forge mechanic. You can hunt down rare runes across the map and slot them into your gear completely. Customize your build with magical properties and specific stat boosts. It gives you a genuine reason to go out, explore the different biomes, and gather materials. Even the inventory system has a character instead of bottomless text list where you can carry a million items. The game uses a classic grid-based layout. You actually have to manage your space, find yourself rotating swords neatly, stacking potions, and organizing your crafting materials just to make sure everything fits before you head out on a quest. It's the small deliberate mechanics that prove a human team sat down and designed this game with passion. And honestly, this brings me to my favorite thing about Tales of Darklands, and the main reason I ended up respecting it so much. Sometimes we just need simple games like this. Like, think about the current state of gaming right now. There are thousands of indie game developers out there trying entirely too hard to be unique. Every new title feels like it's trying to reinvent the wheel. They overload you with hyper complex, convoluted survival mechanics, massive loaded maps full of endless chore lists, and stories that try so hard to be deep that they end up making no sense. It gets exhausting. But in terms of Darklands, completely rejects that trend. It doesn't try to be groundbreaking. It doesn't pretend to be the next gaming revolution. It looks at you and says, "Hey, I'm a straightforward, nostalgic fantasy adventure. Sit down, relax, fight some goblins, level up your gear, and have a good time." There's massive comfort in that kind of honesty. It serves as a perfect palate cleanser when you just want something easygoing to play over the weekend without having to overthink every single decision. If you judge this game by the standards of high-end premium price titles, yeah, it comes up short. The combat's too repetitive, the story's generic, and the AI needs serious work. But we aren't talking about a $60 game. Even though I got my free copy for the review, of course, the actual retail price tag for this game on the store, on PlayStation Store, on Nintendo, on Steam, is a casual $10. And it's on sale right now for $7.99. Like, that's a pretty cheap price tag for this game. It's absolutely worth it. You get a fully functional, charming, and cohesive action RPG that treats you like a player, not a paycheck. I honestly recommend checking it out if you appreciate clean indie art styles and just want a simple gaming weekend. It completely shattered my expectations of what a budget indie title looks like, and it proved that real developer care will always beat out uninspired AI slop. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you tired of games trying way too hard to be unique? Or do you need a bit more mechanical depth than what this game is offering? Drop a comment, smash the like button if you enjoyed the review, subscribe to my channel for more honest, no bullshit gaming breakdowns, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.